Hello, growers. Protect your crops from harmful insects with Modern Growers Insectanet. This top-tier insect netting made by Modern Grower shields your plants from pests and harsh weather, boosting your yields without harmful sprays. Insectanet's unique design allows 90% of the light to pass through and is easy to use with low tunnel systems like our Quick Hoops. It's soft, elastic, and durable, perfect for field use to help ensure that your crops thrive. Say goodbye to pest damage and hello to healthier, market-ready produce. Invest in Insectanet and see the difference it makes. Get Insectanet at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below. When you look at everything else that you're doing besides the farm, you have the podcast, you do YouTube, how much do you look at growing, say, other income sources or other forms of capital away from farming, either just for your own interest and for your own fulfillment, or is just some strategy to make yourself more anti-fragile?
I always have thought that I didn't care. So I want to make $60,000 take home pay working for myself. That's kind of like my goal of working for myself full time. And I don't care if 40,000 of that comes from farming or 20,000 of that comes from farming, or if all 60 of that comes from farming. I was always open to the possibility of doing something else. And with my personality, I have to do something creative or I'm completely miserable and useless to society, to everyone. So I have to do something creative. I just have this little bit of an artist openness, whatever you want to call it, in me. And I need that to be fulfilled. So by doing a podcast and by doing my YouTube channel, that really fills that. And then hopefully I would like to, this year, my plan is to farm full time, try to get my farm up to a point in time where I'm making as much money as I can on it. But I would also like to monetize being creative in some capacity. And I don't really care how that broke down. But yeah, I would like to be more anti-fragile in that sense. And I think that when I'm only having the one revenue stream right now on my farm, that could change next year. But when I'm only having the one revenue stream on my farm this year, that's really important to have a diversity in revenue streams coming from somewhere else. And so hopefully, you never know, could happen with YouTube, could happen with podcasts, could be something completely different.
So really farming is just a piece of the pie from a fulfillment standpoint and from an income standpoint. It's not the whole pie.
Yeah, no, totally. I really love everything about the whole farming thing right now, but I really feel like that I can start stacking everything together. Originally when I started my YouTube channel, I was thinking that I was going to do recipe videos. This was my plan. I was going to grow way too much lettuce this year, and I was going to give as much away as I possibly could pretty much afford. At the grocery stores, doing samples and stuff like that, right? Give away to people because I know I have the best product, so it's more just getting it in people's hands. So I was really thinking that with my YouTube channel that I wanted to make recipe videos. So I was going to collaborate with local mommy bloggers and chefs and stuff like that and give them free product. I was hoping that they would make me recipes, and then I could make those recipes into a video either with them or by myself. And so that way I would be working with these influencers on the videos. I would also have a stash of recipes using my products on my YouTube channel. And then it would all kind of integrate together. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I was thinking about, with my YouTube and how it would kind of all work together. So, I mean, it kind of seems like that they're all separate, but to me, everything integrates together.
Sure. And the great thing about doing that is you're diversified in terms of your emotional fulfillment in life or how you feel about things. I think a lot of us, if you're into this space or if you're just an entrepreneur, you can go head on into one thing, and that one thing can become everything. And then inevitably, everything that we pursue is going to have ups and downs. And if you're all in emotionally and energy-wise into one thing, say the farm, and the farm has a slow period or a down period, I mean, your life is inevitably going to go down with it. So I've had to learn the hard way as an entrepreneur. Like, you don't put all your eggs in one basket, not necessarily just financially, but just to try and protect your own mental state, so you're not riding so much on one business when a lot of times you can't control everything that's happening in that business.
Totally. Well, I think the one thing is that a lot of people take their self-worth out of what they're doing. So I'm really detached from, if my farm doesn't make money, that doesn't reflect on me as a person. If my YouTube channel doesn't get any views, that doesn't reflect on me as a person. But the problem is that you're building this business, or you're building the YouTube channel or podcast or whatever it is, and you're putting so much of yourself into it, like that is you. That business is you. That YouTube channel is you. So it's really hard to detach yourself and to like not see yourself in that. So when someone rejects it, whether it's they don't want your product or they don't want to subscribe to your channel or whatever it is, it's hard not to take that rejection personally, right?
100%. Yes, exactly. And, in the less things you have, and I think the harder it is to detach yourself from that thing, because, look at it realistically. If you're spending 10 hours a day grinding it out on the farm, sweating out there, going to the farmer's market, you believe in your product, and then you do less than $100 at sales at that farmer's market, we can sit here and say, detach your emotions from that, but it's really hard in that moment to be like, God damn, this is what the week left me. Like, I feel like crap. But then at the same point, if you're also doing some other things in life, and, a podcast, whatever it is, odds are you're not going to get all these things hitting lows at the same time. So the highs in one facet of your life can help buffer the all-in, or the lows in other parts of your life. So yeah, I'm with you. I try not to derive my fulfillment from stuff that I create and put my everything into, but a lot of times I definitely derive my fulfillment from those things.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I know it's tough. Because you're trying to put as much of yourself into it as you can, but at the same time, like, you just have to set it loose and let it be its own thing eventually. And that's really tough. It's really tough not to take your self-worth out of it. One of the biggest things that's helped me has been, I think this came from Brene Brown. She said that just because you failed doesn't mean that you are a failure. Like, I think a lot of times when my farm was going bad at the beginning of last season, or actually it wasn't even going bad, it just felt like it was going bad. Everything was taking forever and nothing was working out. And I was taking those failures like really personally. Like, when my lettuce didn't grow, I thought that reflected on me as a person. Like, I am a failure because my lettuce didn't grow. But that's not true at all. Just because my lettuce doesn't grow, that doesn't mean I'm a failure at all. Those two things don't correlate, like zero.
Exactly. If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.